Good morning, everyone, dear researcher and invited guest. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to the 5th International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Competitive Strategy. We all have been striving hard to the fight against the pandemic COVID-19, and now we are already in the second wave of it. We at ICTCS 2020 wish you and your family a very happy and healthy life ahead. Kindly request you to take some with this space as well. We at Global Knowledge Research Foundation are thankful to our all guests for being a part of this virtual conference for making it successful as the previous ones. Hope you will be enjoying the day of interactive session. I would want to let the presenter know that they will be given 8 minutes for their entire presentation and 2 minutes for any queries. I humbly request to stick the allotted time. Now, I would like to introduce our session chair, Dr. Latika Desai. She is an associate professor and HOD in D.Y. Patil Institute of Technology, Pune, India. She has a more than 22 years of teaching experience, and her area of interest, digital electronics, data security, and embedded system. Dear ma'am, I welcome you. And now I would want you to take over the session and continue further. All overs to you.
Sorry. Thank you, Richa. I welcome Nanda Kishore for the topic Machine Learning Technique for Music Genre Classification.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Good morning to all. I will share my PPTs, madam.
Okay.
Good morning to all. I am presenting the paper on machine learning techniques for music genre classification. So actually, I'm the research scholar pursuing my PhD degree from SPSU Udaipur, and my co-authors are there, Dr. Sumit Mathur and Dr. Anand Bhaskar. So the outline of the paper will be introduction, sound classification taxonomy, and objective literature review, generalized system, input audio signal, classification, performance measure, conclusion. So actually, the amount of data, audio data, that classification is the huge task. That is efficient indexing and annotation is required for some purposes in day-to-day use. That is, non-stationaries and discontinuous signals we have to classify. So the challenge is there that select appropriate audio features, and that we will classify with the help of machine learning technique. And for that, different algorithms will take. I will just in few minutes explain that the sound is there, that is classified into hearable and non-hearable. So hearable will be there, will be classified into music, speech, and environment. Now, in environment sound, there is a noise, natural sound, like that. Suppose the sound of the in rainy season, like that. And in speech, male voice and female voice. In music, there are different genres like hip hop, blues, disco, reggae, rock, classical. So these 10 types of genres are there. Now, my aim is that actually I had I want to develop a machine learning model that will classify automatically the music based on various features instead of manual entering the category. The model correctly classifies new music into its category to achieve better accuracy. For that purpose, I uh, did the literature review of some papers. In that, I found that there are different techniques for machine learning they have used. That is SVM, KNN, CNN, PNN, graphical neural network, and Coro technique, like that. So I uh, I found some papers in which this is the music genre classification by Snigdha Chilera I have taken, and I found that classification accuracy got 88.54% by CNN technique. That is convolutional neural network. And she used the dataset FMA, that is Free Music Archive. So there are different datasets. Free Music Archive, ZTZN. ZTZN is the Marshall's Kaggle dataset, in which 1000 audio tracks are there. Then some authors have done on music signals. Some have done on Bangla music. Some have done on Zalo AI music. So these different data sets have taken and different techniques they have used. Now, with a different technique, they are getting different accuracies and F1 score. So there they calculated the specificity, F1 score, sensitivity, and accuracy. Now, what are these comparison is there? So this comparison is based on different machine learning techniques. That is SVM, CNN. They have their own advantages as well as disadvantages. So logistic regression by SVM and random forest and CNN, they got the author Harish Bahulian used, and he got the classification accuracy of 89.4%. Now, KNN, SVM, CNN, these methods have used by Ahmed Albir, and he got the accuracy of 69.90%. Like this, different authors have got the different accuracies. Now, decision trees, Navi bias classifier, and linear SVM is used by James Ramirez and Julia Flores, and they got some accuracy. There are, as I told, for different technique, there are the different advantages and disadvantages. That is, some techniques are complicated, some techniques are having more data, they are not effective for the more data. Then J48, SVM, Navi bias, on that, Abhijit Bhaumik have worked, and he got the accuracy like 80%. Then this paper SVM, KNN, and fuzzy PNN. In this, the author have worked on fuzzy network and PNN, that is probabilistic neural network. And the author's name is Nilesh Patil and Milind Nemale. They have got the accuracy of 93%, precision 95%, recall 96%, specificity 84%. So these different techniques are there. And the generalized system they are used, that is, they have taken the music files, they used pre-processing framing, feature extraction. In that, they used spectrogram, and in feature extraction, the time domain features and frequency domain features they calculated, like zero crossing of the waveform, pitch in time domain, and skewness, and spectral flux in frequency domain. And based on that, they calculated the feature vectors. And then uh, the optimization techniques are developed in machine learning to select the proper feature. And then the classifier works. And they got the classification results. So the input audio signal is used as.
Sorry for interrupt, dear presenter. You have last 2 minutes. Please conclude your presentation.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. So 1000 music files they have used for the GTZR. In that, 10 genres are there. That is blues, classical, country, disco, hip hop, jazz, metal, pop, reggae. Each of 16-bit audio signal, 30 seconds, and frequency is 22 kilohertz. So the technique is used MFCC, male frequency spectral coefficient, and they have used this technique, which is SVM, KNN, PNN, and CNN. So in SVM, there is the classification done by differentiating the vectors into the hyperplane, and then taken their Euclidean distance and taking the kernel, the SVM is used. And uh, there are disadvantages they have got. That is, for more samples, poor results are there. And there is the algorithmic complexity. Then I done the literature review of KNN. So in KNN also, we are taking the neighborhood Euclidean distance and calculate the accuracy. But it is faster, easy. But there are the disadvantages that categorical data will take long time for classification and high dimensional data. Then PNN. For PNN, there is pattern recognition technique, and hence it will require more memory. So this is the disadvantage. And in CNN, there are pooling network. Pooling network is there. So more complexity is there, and need lot of training data. So I decided by doing this to develop the better model, which will give the better accuracy with less complexity and better optimization. So I'm using all these 4 classifiers. I'm working on this and trying to get the proper accuracy. So this is actually the literature review I have done, and the techniques I have gone through this technique and decided to develop the uh, good model which will give the better accuracy with less complexity. So these are the conclusion that this different techniques, SVM techniques, different machine learning techniques I will use and work to find the good accuracy. These are the references. Yes, madam.
Okay. Mr. Ananda Kishore, your presentation is appreciable and your literature survey too. But just my submission is, if you are including the 2020 paper, it is good. Okay. Try to
Yes, madam.
include the 2020 paper also in your
Yes, yes, yes.
literature. Okay.
Yes, yes, madam.
Then next is, I gone through your presentation. Are you compared the time parameter for your algorithm and the previous algorithms?
Madam, actually, I'm uh, this time parameters as well as frequency parameters. Both I am trying to compare and
Okay.
want to reduce the complexity.
Means you are working on accuracy, I know, but time is also important. So,
Yes, madam.
oh,
Yeah, so I will consider that factor also, madam.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, yes, madam.
Any question from participants?
No, ma'am, only you can ask any question.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Richa.
Hmm.
Our next participant is Milon Biswas, a survey on predicting a player's performance and team recommendations in game of cricket using machine learning.
Good morning, everyone. I will present on behalf of Milan Bishas. Let me share my screen. Is it visible to everyone? I hope it is.
Yes, yes.
Hello, good morning, everyone. At first, let me introduce myself. I am Kausar Mahabub, and I am studying at Bangladesh University and Business Technology at Department of Computer Science and Engineering. My paper title is A Survey on Predicting Players' Performance and Team Recommendation in Game of Cricket Using Machine Learning. I am going to introduce some related information about of this research. Cricket is very popular game in the world. Player selection for a team in a cricket is a vital to its success. If a team wants to win a game, they must choose their best players for the game. Machine learning in sports analytics is very useful field in computer science. So using machine learning algorithm, we can predict the outcome of a game or performance of the team or individual players. And also we can build a new strategy for upcoming competition. For this work, prediction, most researchers use naive Bayes, random forest, SVM, decision tree, and weighted random forest machine learning algorithm. Now I will talk about the objective of this research. The main objective of the research is to give clear idea about how can machine learning help to identify the player strengths and weakness and also suggest a best cricket squad for upcoming match and also proposed a model for match outcome prediction, team structure, analysis and player recommendation. Address of the problem, predicted the outcome of a match, find the best machine learning model that gives the best performance and the highest accuracy. Now, I would like to talk about the data set they use. Data is the most valuable part of any experiment. Collecting applicable data from trustable source is the most important duty. The most of the researchers obtain data from QInfo as well as Fieldbus for the purpose. The model for the selection and optimal team contains some features. The parameter features will affect the player performance given following. The main factors are batting, bowling, and all-rounder attributes. In batting attributes, features like who bat fast, batting position, number of innings played, runs, strike rate, centuries, the 50s, zeros, and batting average, and so on. In bowling, in bowling attributes, the considered features are like who ball fast, bowling average, bowling rate, four, five, four, number of wicket, and number of innings. Again, in all-rounder features, batting attributes like batting hand, bowling hand, and extent of the opposition, match played, wicket, run scored, strike rate, average. There are some other factor like the venue, opponent, day-night effect, economy, pitch, and weather and being considered. Now it's time to talk about the methodology. uh, uh, at first, they collect all the necessary data. After the collected necessary data, the data was segregated into two parts. Like one is testing purpose, one is training purpose. After that, they extract some features, or which is the parameter for selecting a player. After selection the parameters, they select a model to train the machine and select a machine learning classifier like KNN, SBM, naive Bayes, decision tree, random forest, weighted random forest, and after that they got a result, got a result and test the result and select the highest accuracy model and finally predict the square. Now, uh, it's now I will talk about the result. For the prediction in all existing systems, the most used learning algorithm are naive Bayes, random forest, SBM, decision tree, weighted random forest. Though most researchers used random forest algorithm, naive Bayes, but there are few papers where the weighted random forest are being used and got better accuracy than random forest. We can see here the highest accuracy is 93.7%, which is got by weighted random forest, and the lowest accuracy is 64.1%, which is got by naive Bayes. Now I want to conclude my presentation. The selection of player for a sports team
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Now it's audible.
Hello.
Richa, you are audible to me.
Yes, ma'am.
I think some problem at participant A.
I think yes.
Okay.
I think participant have some network issue.
Okay.
Okay, so ma'am, we can move ahead. We can call up our next presenter.
Okay. Our next presenter is Urjita, a novel. She is presenting a novel approach to recommend a skincare product using test analysis of product reviews. Urjita?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll share the screen.
Okay.
Hello. Can you see the screen?
Yes, you continue.
Uh, can you see the screen now?
Yes, Urjita, you continue.
Yes. So here we have proposed a system which is actually somewhat which is actually very useful for shopping websites like Amazon or any skincare website. I have explicitly mentioned skincare because in skincare domain this approach to recommendation will be very useful. So here actually so we have firstly understood what is the psychology of a user or what user actually wants when he comes to a skincare website or any other website or he wants to buy something. So technically if let's take an example of skincare website. So for example, if anyone wants to buy a particular product, then firstly user sees that the product should be compatible with the with skin of the user, as well as it should satisfy the criteria of a lotion or a powder or a mask or anything which user wants. So for this we have actually used product reviews, since product reviews can give information about product, unbiased information about product, which website or anyone can't give. So product reviews can be helpful in knowing the category of product as well as the effect of product on the skin of the user. So how is this helpful in skincare? So actually for example, if there is a review which says that this product was helpful for my sensitive skin, then if the review says something like this, then a user with sensitive skin will actually buy that particular product or maybe will be more interested in buying that particular product. So for uh, for such type of identification of products, we have actually used text categorization, so that product can be categorized to a particular category, for example sensitive skin or dry skin or oily skin or any other. Also it can also be categorized according to skin concerns such as acne or something like that, any skin concerns. And secondly, what we have done is we have used sentiment analysis to discard the particular products which have negative reviews. For example, if some product has ill effect on skin or some product which may not be compatible with users, so for this if we have many negative reviews for the product, then such product will not be recommended. So it will ultimately be useful for user, such type of recommendation system. Further, we can also rank the products according to the score of reviews. For example, a product which has all positive reviews and which explicitly state that the product is good, then those reviews can be used to actually rank the products. Also, now you may have one question that what if reviews are maybe reviews are not honestly written. So basically we have also used that a subjective parameter. So a subjective score will assign if the product if the reviewer has actually written based on his experience, or he has only written about the product in a biased way. So okay, so these are many other papers which I have referred. However, I have found that those papers which I have referred, they are using very complex methods, and few of them have also used image content. So I think image content may not be that suitable for user to recognize which product will be suitable. So here also people have used deep learning. In deep learning method, I would like to point out that many papers have actually used actually classified products earlier, and then they have used a particular method like deep learning or any other supervised learning method. However, with using this method, if the if he has labeled products differently, for example, if an oily skin product is labeled differently, for example, just as an error, so in that case, then the system will entirely fail, and maybe not every product is easy to classify manually. So I have avoided all those methods, which include deep learning and many other approaches. So here I have used k-means clustering and topic modeling to identify the text category of the product, which category the product would come. Also, I have used sentiment analysis to filter the products which may have unforeseen side effects. This is the hardware software. Doesn't require any special hardware. So for this, I have done is firstly for analyzing any review or anything, we need to like prepare text. For by prepare text, I mean I have to for example just if the product if review is written in a capital and small letters, then convert all the text to small letters, or maybe remove some which are not words like exclamation, which may not really help in identifying the sentiment. So may remove such symbols. Also, then I have used clustering. Clustering was very useful. Firstly, I have tried without clustering, but when I used clustering, then even the topic score was increased from 50 to 76% or something like that. So it was very useful. By clustering, what I have done is I have made several clusters of various topics. So you can see here there is a dry cluster, and then there is also few word. Dry cluster can use the words such as it was dry, or it was many other words which are related. Oily cluster can include oily or creamy or such words. So this was used primarily for classification. Then we have used topic modeling for classification. Then after topic modeling, it became clear that which category was the product belonging. Then sentiment analysis to discard the negative, the products which can potentially be harmful for user. Then we have used actually a bag of words model for clustering, because what bag of words model does is that it basically makes a bag of words from text. So and then it plots for clustering. So since clustering is made, the bag of words are trained for analyzing clusters. So here are the clusters formed. So first cluster, we can see that first cluster gives the information about how the product was, what's the effect of product. Second cluster was used to classify if it was for nail or primarily for nail polishes. So such words are used in second cluster. Third cluster is related to hair, and fourth cluster was related to skin. So here also we can see that topics after performing LTA, we can see that such words are in a particular topic. Smell, scent, nice, fragrance. So all this related to scents are in a particular topic, which is topic number 9 has all these words. So here are the results obtained. So firstly, it goes coherence score actually goes up till I guess topics are equal to 7. So when topics were equal to 7, we got the maximum coherence score. After that, the coherence score was less because maybe when we take too many topics, then it becomes harder for system to classify accurately. So 7 topics were appropriate to the network. So here is before clustering and after clustering. So topic distribution gave an idea that how much is the topic relatable to the review, and this is the score it increased. Coherency score also increased, but it was increased by a very small amount. Yeah, so here I am concluding this project. It can actually one main thing which is there in the system is it can help in categorizing product, as well as it can help in discarding the products which are not good enough for user. Also, we can rank the products for depending on the reviews. Reviews can give the basic idea of the products. Also, those reviews which are biased can be discarded, or can be reviews which can be discarded and may not be used in classification or ranking of the products. If in case reviews, so that system can help if in case reviews are not genuine or something like that. Should I stop screen share?
Okay, Ujjita, nice presentation.
Thank you.
By keeping time management. Okay, so you are taken care of all the means that genuine reviews are there, reviews are honest. Okay,
Yeah.
but my submission is that in the literature survey, you are taken the papers which are
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
hello.
Yeah. I can hear.
You got my question?
Yeah. Can you please repeat?
Your presentation is nice. Okay, you are taken care of genuine reviews and all. Okay, but what I observed in the literature survey, you must include the more and more recent papers. Okay, and are you compared your result with the recent existing systems?
Yes, I compared. Actually, deep learning systems had a better result. However, deep learning systems had a major drawback, which was like they were earlier manually labeling the products, and then they were using deep learning. So manually labeling products is very hard in case when we have 10,000 products or something like that. So in that case, they had good result. In many other cases, they had like the result was like the same, like 70% or something, was not actually better than our project.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Meghana, Smart Attendance Monitoring System using a local binary pattern histogram. Meghna?
Ma'am, instead of Meghna, I'm going to present it. I'm Himacha.
Okay.
My Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, you continue.
Yeah. The title of our project is Smart Attendance Management System using local binary pattern histogram. And this is the flow of today's presentation. In the present academic system, regular class attendance of students plays a significant role in performance assessment and quality monitoring. To solve the problem of high burden, like marking the attendance by calling the student names, the smart and auto attendance management system is being utilized. The smart attendance system is generally executed with the help of biometrics. Face recognition, which I used in this project, which is also one of the biometric method to improve the system. In today's world, mostly in many of the institutions, attendance is taken by calling the students' names or signing on the papers, which is highly a tedious work, time consuming, and there is also a chance of proxy attendance. So to overcome this, some institutions have adopted RFID tag system. It is a system in which each student will be given an RFID card with his ID number. So when student enters into the class, he need to scan the card, and same way when he exits. But this RFID system had reduced the time work. But in this case, there is a chance of card loss, or any unauthorized person may misuse the card for fake attendance. So to solve this problem, we came up with a face recognition based attendance system for classroom environment. The data what we require is a folder which contains all the images of the students whose belongs to that class with their IDs, and a list which contains the email IDs of the parents of the students. This is a snapshot of the folder which contains the student images. I have gone through some of the papers on this topic. In all the papers, the procedure which they followed is first image capturation, then face detection, then face recognition, and then they mark the attendance based on that. Different papers have used different methods like HOG method for face detection and compare faces for face recognition. And there are also some drawbacks. Sometimes it fails to recognize students from far distance, or if the camera is of low quality, then sometimes it may fail to detect it. So this is the literature survey I have done. This is the basic flow of the project. First, webcam gets open and detect all the faces which are visible to the camera. All the detected faces are encoded. Since different faces will have different measurements, we need to put all in a proper format so we will encode all the detected faces. And these encoded faces are compared with the images which are there in our database. So once a comparison is done, the faces are recognized. If it matches, then the student name is obtained, or else it will print as unknown. So once this recognition is done, attendance is marked whether student is present or absent, and based on this, Excel sheet is generated. And the whole project is mainly divided into 5 modules. One is GUI, face detection, face recognition, attendance marking, and sending email. GUI, which is nothing but graphical user interface. I have made this type of interface for attendance. I have used an inbuilt library in Python called tkinter. Here, after subject name, I have a text box where we should enter the subject name so that attendance will be recorded for that particular subject. And next, face detection. Face detection is done by using two simple inbuilt model. My library is in Python called Computer Vision 2, which allows us to access the webcam, and other is face recognition module. We have employed multiple classifiers such as support vector machines, local binary patterns, histogram, and hair cascade features to detect these images. So what actually is happening in this classifiers and how the image is able to detect it? First it will try to find the face, and it try to put the face in a proper format so that machine learning algorithm trains itself that these are the faces which it need to be detected. And third, face encoding happens. How we are able to detect the image is that all the faces which comes near the webcam are converting into grayscale. Once all these are converted into grayscale, we are trying to pixel it. So what happens in this pixeling is that the darker portions of the faces, like such as nose, chin, cheeks, etc., are being detected. So this so by in this way the face are detected. Once the face is detected, we need to perform face encoding to all these detected faces. Face encoding is nothing but extraction of unique identifying facial features which exist for each and every face. Since there are 128D facial points, based on this, all the unique features for each and every face are extracted. And once the encoding is done, we can go on. Once the encoding is done, we can go on to face recognition. Face recognition we are performing by using two functions which are inbuilt in face recognition library. One is compare faces. So what happens in this compare faces is we are passing three parameters. One is list of known face encodings. That is all the images which are there in a database. We have performed encoding process on those images and stored in the form of a list. And second is the captured face encoding, nothing but the face which is detected by the webcam. We have also performed encoding on those on that image and sending us a second parameter, the compare faces function. And third is a tolerance, which is by default 60%, which means if the captured face encoding matches with any one of the face encoding in that list up to 60%, then we can say that this is the person. It gives the name of the person and return true. If the captured face encoding does not matches with any one of the faces in the encodings, it means that
Himaja, 1 minute is remaining. Sorry for interrupting.
okay. It means that particular student face is not present in the database, so it will return false. So in this way, the face is recognized. If in case by using this method, the face is not able to recognize, then we came up with another method which is called face distance. In the same way, for face distance also, we are passing the list of known face encodings and captured face encodings. So what we are doing is here we are calculating the Euclidean distance between the captured face encoding and the face encodings. So if the Euclidean distance, if the minimum Euclidean distance is greater than 0.5, it means that their match is wrong. That means that particular student does not belong to the class. So it will return false. If the minimum Euclidean distance is if the Euclidean distance is less than 0.5, then we are taking the minimum value and and from that we'll get the name of the student. So this is a snapshot how it is going to recognize. It will give the name as Imaja if the match is correct. If the match is incorrect, it will give the name as unknown. It means the student does not belong to that class. Once the recognition is done, we are marking attendance is marked. For all the recognized students, names of all the recognized students are entered into Firebase database using put function.
Dear presenter, you have a last 2 minutes. Please conclude your presentation.
Yeah, okay. So attendance is marked. This is a snapshot. And the same way, we're also sending email IDs to the parents, absentee parents, that his child is absent to the class. And we have also performed unit testing on these models. In this model, we have checked for more than 236 students. Out of 236 students, for 202 student faces are recognized correctly, and the remaining 34 students faces are not recognized correctly. So finally, by this process, we got an accuracy of 85.59%. Yeah. The future scope, since the present role is completely being digitized, if the smart attendance system is implemented, then the manual work of teachers taking attendance will be, which is a very tedious work, we can eliminate it permanently. Since for this, the student should manually present in front of camera to take the attendance, it will reduce the chance of proxies. So finally, I conclude that this project may have a broad scope ahead. And these are the references. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, Himaja, nice presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
But to improve the accuracy, What efforts we should take again?
To improve accuracy, if we use some high processing cameras, you can so that images can be detected clearly. So in that case, we can improve accuracy, ma'am. And if we use multiple images of same student in in different angles, in that case also we can improve accuracy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Our next presenter is Mr. Das Manthar. A paper presented by him is overcoming the complexity in decision making for enterprise software product, influence of technical factors.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone, and respected chair. So my name is Hashmat, and I am doing my research from ICFA University, Jharkhand, under the guidance of Dr. Rajkumar M. So the title of my research paper is basically overcoming the complexities in decision making for enterprise software products and with respect to technological factors. So this is basically the same flow what is there. So introduction. So basically nowadays software for enterprises or organizations is basically available in two modes. One is traditional or on-premise software, which is nothing but software will be installed on a computer and that computer will be available in your premises. So that is the reason it is called as on-premise software. Now with the recent emergence of various technological platforms or distributed computing, so there is boom of cloud technologies, and each software is now available in two delivery models. One delivery model is your on-premise, traditional on-premise, which we had till now, and the recent one is cloud computing. And cloud computing basically it gives software in form of services. So we have three kind of services: software as a service model, infrastructure as a service model, platform as a service model. And the vendors who are providing these are Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Rackspace. So so now talking about, so as on-premise software, there is nothing much in depth we need to look into. But when with regard to cloud computing, we have three kind of delivery models. One is software as a service, which it is nothing but virtualization of applications. For example, your university might itself be using G Suite, like Gmail for email, and Google Docs or Google Spreadsheets, or you are using Zoom itself. This Zoom meeting itself is in the cloud. It's not on-prem. You have not installed it on a computer in your premises, right? So this Zoom meeting itself is happening on cloud actually. So this is what virtualization of software products. Platform as a service is nothing but your operating system, and that is nothing but Windows or Linux, where you are going to virtualize the platform. Infrastructure as a service is nothing but hardware like how many RAM, how much amount of RAM, how much amount of CPU, how much amount of hardware. That is nothing virtualization. So all these vendors like Microsoft Azure or Google or Rackspace, they are providing these kind of services. And now, so as I said, organizations like IT industries or pharmaceutical industries or any organization, educational institutions, healthcare, so they have now basically to buy a software like Zoom itself. It is available in two models. One is the on-premise, the other is on cloud. So which one we should buy actually? So that is the basically the objective of this research paper. So in this paper we have basically identified 15 technological factors. What do you mean by technological factors? Because I did not kept that slide due to time constraint. So we have used scientific models like technology, organization, and environmental framework, and diffusion of innovation, and integrated with decision making, trial and evaluation laboratory. So these three theories we have integrated to study how and finally we came up with three contexts. One is technological context, there is organizational context, and one more is environmental context. So for this research paper we have used only technological factors, how they will influence organizations to adopt either on-premise software product or cloud computing delivery model. So that is the first objective. We are going to identify the factors, because there are different theories available in the space, and we have used, as I said, TOE, DMetal, and diffusion of innovation. So, and we came up with it, and then we studied how these factors are basically influencing. This is just a qualitative research. This paper is basically presenting the results of qualitative research. So we have found out that there are 15 basically technological factors like relative advantage, compatibility. So it's very difficult for me to define all these factors in this session, but these factors basically in some way or the other, like they will influence the decision how an organization will adopt, whether we should buy Zoom in cloud model or we should buy the Zoom on premise and install it in our computer and then use it. So it depends on the type of industry. I will discuss the results in more detail. So each factor has some influence. Relative advantage in terms of cost, compatibility, whether this software is going to be compatible with existing software or not, complexity, whether my users can use it easily or not, trialability, how much duration I can trial it and I can observe the results before I actually buy it. Data availability, is data, if it is in cloud, is it available always, or if it is down, then am I going to access it or not? Data accessibility, data security is nothing but like, if it is getting stored, what is the security of my data? Other person cannot read it or other someone cannot read it. How is it being stored when it is at rest? How is it being encrypted or secure? What is the security when it is traveling from my source to destination? Data integrity, how is it, how the guarantee that data is not tampered when it is traveling from source to destination? Data privacy is nothing but like I have my identity, so how is it, what is the privacy, how is it being stored, is it being shared with other, because it's a software as a service model, what is the containerization method, is it, or my data is available to me only or someone else can see it? Data backup is nothing but like routinely we will take the backup of data, how often the data is being backed up. Locality is nothing but what is the, if in case of cloud, what is the geographical limitations of my data, where is it available, like exactly, because we don't know where is Microsoft data center, we don't know where is Google data center. Virtualization vulnerability is nothing but the virtualization software which is being used by Google or Microsoft or Rackspace, is it, if that itself is vulnerable, then my data is not secured. Identity management is nothing but my identity is like hashmat at gmail.com, how is it protected basically? So data collection, we have basically invited 30 companies for this uh, focused group discussion and group and interviews. Out of them, actually 20 have participated. So this is just the demographics of the different organizations where we have interviewed, or we did focus.
Last 2 minutes.
Okay. Okay. So results, basically there are three kinds of within case analysis, qualitative comparative analysis, and across case analysis. Within case analysis, we have done basically, so each individual case is studied and their details. So for example, our case organization 20, so their definition of data, I mean, what is data security, how is it stored, what are the encryption, how the security is provided, what are the encryption algorithms when it is at rest and when it is traveling from source to destination. So and the second, I mean, risk mitigation strategy is nothing but local data retention loss. So this is comparative analysis between different organizations. What is the common pattern or what is the change? This is the configuration set, which is one represents, if you see finally this adopted by migrated, so one represents the organizations which have adopted or migrated to cloud. Zero represents they are still with on-premise or they are buying on-premise software. So finally I will go into conclusions basically. So now after this qualitative analysis, interviews, focus group discussions, we have found that banks, financial institutions, and larger organizations are still using on-premise software products, whereas SMEs are actually they are adopting very fastly cloud computing. So the most common factor basically are like data privacy, data locality, data security. These are the base, and identity management. These are the basically factors which are influencing organizations to adopt only on-premise. And recently, Government of India itself announced that if you are Visa or if you are Mastercard, if you're the vendor of that, our data, the KYC documents should not be stored in other geographies, because Amazon and all these vendors, they have their data centers either in Singapore or in US or somewhere else. It's not in India. Data centers are not in India. So Government of India, when they passed these rules for due to that local data retention laws, all these banking organizations and all, they have again came back to this model. So, and the last but not the least, the common factor for adopting cloud is relative advantage, because it is cost. What each organization will see, they will try to save the cost. If you see Zoom meeting on cloud will cost less if you buy Zoom on-premise software. So due to cost and it is very easy to use and compatibility and all these factors, which basically you go and buy Zoom instead of buying Zoom on premise. So due to again time limitations, I have not presented my literature review and all, but we have considered all studies right from 2019 back till 2010, and my paper actually has all references for all those studies and what are the scientific models they have used and what are their limitations and why we have adopted this integrated approach of three scientific models: diffusion of innovation and D-metal theory and TUE theory. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Hashkumar, nice presentation. You are mentioned the advantages of your proposed work, right? I want to
Yes,
know we want to know the limitations of your system.
madam.
Is there any
Limitation.
limitation? Hmm?
Yes. So this study is basically limited to the companies or organizations in, like, right now I have considered only four kind of industries like IT, e-commerce, and IT, e-commerce, banking, financial, and pharmaceutical. So this can be extended to other kind of like education industry or healthcare or insurance. It can be extended to them. This is the limitation, and the other limitation is we are doing only in the southern part of India, like Bangalore and Hyderabad, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai. So these are the organizations which, so other parts and other locations, we need to extend it. Uh,
Okay. Okay, thank you.
thank
Our next paper is automated multiple face recognition using deep learning for security and surveillance applications by Nidhi.
Ma'am, I think Nidhi is absent, so we can
Okay.
go next presentation.
For next paper,
Yes, ma'am.
next presentation. Okay. Our next presentation is a machine learning based quality predictions of grey water, a review by Samir. Samir,
I'm
hand over to you. Okay.
good afternoon. I'm audible.
Yes, yes. You can continue.
Okay. Yeah. Good afternoon, all. I'm Samir Sadiq Sheikh, research scholar from Oriental University, Indore. Today, I'm going to present a review on machine learning-based quality prediction of grey water. So, first question in our mind that it occurs that what is actually grey water is. This is the outline of my presentation. So, grey water is a wastewater that actually made the kitchen sink, showers, laundry, ventilation, and etc. Actually, there are two types of wastewater, that is the water and black water. Water doesn't contain any waste from the toilets and urinals, except that whatever the water that is over there, that's a gray water, and black water that contains the waste from the toilets and urinals. So here I'm specifically working on a gray water that may get used for a farming purpose later on. So you can use this company by simple cost-effective method of treatment of gray water. So gray water treatment can be mostly categorized in three categories, that is a biological, chemical, and physical processes. So the gray water quality monitoring system that depends on different parameters like oxygen and temperatures. So prediction determining which of the major factors can be reliably predicted using that is mainly supervised irrigation that and gradient boost. So actually, gray water, what parameters are it can be considered in while we are going to deal with actually a single person can produce nearly about 9 to 35 liters of gray water daily basis. So
Yes, you are audible. I think so. Might be some issues.
I'm over here. Okay. Now I am audible, ma'am.
Yeah, you are audible, but your screen is not visible.
Okay, I'm presenting it.
Yes, it's processing.
Is it visible now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So there are various gray water characteristics, as I said. Number of parameters we need to consider, like a temperature, turbidity, then turbidity that it can be measured using NTU, that is a neplometric turbidity unit. So how much light reflects for given amount of particulates, that it can be counted by NTU. So then suspended solids, total solids, pH that it can be measured while we are if it is less than 7 it becomes acid, and if it is more than 7 it becomes alkaline. And then COD, that is a chemical oxygen demand, that amount of oxygen consumed to chemically oxidize the organic water contaminants to inorganic end products. So and then a BOD, that is a biochemical oxygen demand, that is the amount of dissolved oxygen needed by aerobic biological organisms to break down the organic material in a water. Then dissolved oxygen, the amount of gaseous oxygen that dissolved in the water. Then total gel nitrogen, that it can be is the parameter used to measure the organic nitrogen and ammonia in water. And various chemical compounds like calcium, zinc, potassium, magnesium, sodium, and these are the acceptable ranges for after the processing the gray water, and it can be for reusing purpose. Then again some compounds that it can be found in a gray water or not wastewater, that we can say. So it may be a xenbiotic organic compound, that is XOC, and is a foreign compound to a living organism, like drugs, environmental pollutants, hydrocarbons, and pesticides. Fecal califorms, that califorms, that some rod-shaped bacteria that it can be present in a fecal in water. Total califorms, fecal streptococci, that is spherical parasites that present in a. So these are the some characteristic of gray water. It should be the these are the acceptable ranges that it get accepted while the water gray water it get be processed. Uh, Gray water will be processed. So the objective of these were to analyze the various gray water quality prediction algorithms, to design an algorithm for predicting a gray water quality, identify reasons of sensor failure while applying to recycle the gray water more efficiently, to design algorithm for gray water variables classification from the collected sensor data, and to explore and validate proposed system effectiveness with various existing systems. So the review was when there are 37 papers nearly about I reviewed. From that one, number of algorithms I have found for
Dear
wastewater,
presenter,
not explicitly.
dear presenter,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have limited time, so please conclude your
Okay,
presentation.
okay, ma'am. So, number of algorithms, that actual problem that work is evaluated so far to defend anticipating and gauging the nature of water accessible from various streams like lakes, dams, and rivers. So now, withstanding almost no work found in anticipating the nature of grey water by applying machine insight. So the system that we are going to be implementing, that is predicting the quality of grey water with the given standards of WHO, and identify various measures of water quality such as dissolved oxygen, pH, turbidity, analyzing the status of resource sensor in water treatment plants. So here I need to conclude that specialists utilize various calculation depends on different machine learning parameters, that is dissolved oxygen saturated, then chemical oxygen demand and biochemical oxygen demand boundaries that concentrated to model and different methods. depends on various algorithms that root mean square error method, semi F1 score, so on. So few scientists have prevailing that regards of grouping a classes of water by applying water quality methods to related to WHO parameters, and subsequently the later on intended to examine the plan for forecast a model of accessing nature of grey water dependent on our discoveries from this examination, and uniting them to plan more strong framework so to bring down the estimation of bogus positive expectations. So this is the conclusion, and these are the references to what I got for. Thank you.
Thank you, Samir. You are validate your proposed work anywhere? You are validate your proposed work anywhere?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, we are two members. We are working on this one. Second partner from the civil background is implementing a system that for a gray water, and I'm working on this that testing of that one using a different sensors. Uh, uh, Actually, some in Indore, that is the most clean city in India, where we are for water treatment visited two times to take it out, and what they are using current systems, and how they are collecting the data for water treatment plants. For that one, we are going.
Okay, thank you. Our next presenter is Mr. Faridul Islam Sani. The paper is IoT Past, Present and Future, a Literature Survey. Hand over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I am sharing my screen.
Okay.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, you continue.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning. We are all in a pandemic situation right now because of COVID-19, but still I hope you are all healthy and well with your family. I would like to begin my remarks by thanking Team ICTCS for organizing this conference. Our paper was titled IoT Past, Present and Future, a Literary Survey. I am Imre Fazlul Islam Sani from Jaipur International University, Dhaka, Bangladesh. I am presenting on behalf of my team. If we look at the abstract, actually IoT is a system, interrelated computing devices, machines, or objects that transfers data over a network. IoT is a thing that dispenses technically credible solution to all the problems of our daily life. Due to IoT's welfare, the present world has moved upward the scope of human ability. For good efficiency, the popularity of IoT is increasing much more than ever, and its use in different sectors has increased. Our paper was based on some keywords. They are Internet of Things, short from IoT, then evolution of IoT, IoT investments, ratio of connected devices, and challenges of IoT. The topics covered in our paper is evolution of IoT, that includes the past and present history of the literature review and prediction or giving idea of future. Then the IoT sectors and investments, number of IoT connected device we will show in a graph later. And then the challenges includes the security challenge and risk of data leaks. Then the objectives of our paper is the growing dominance of IoT in the contemporary world has encouraged us in this study. The idea of changing the future of IoT has inspired us to work on this paper. IoT's discoveries have made human life comfortable, as well as some cases its complexity has encouraged us in this study. On this basis, background methodology, research findings, result discussion, and future work have been discussed. We find some data from the literature review. They are the widespread impact of IoT introduced by Mark Weiser in 1998. The terminology of IoT came first in 1999. From 2005 until this time, IoT is considered to be its initial stage. The first IoT conference on Europe was held in 2008, and it was in Zurich, Switzerland. The advent of machine-to-machine concept was found in 2009 to 2011. IPv6 was launched in 2011. The journey of smart technology started mainly after 2014. Then we will see in the graph the number of IoT connected devices increases from 3.65 billion to 30.73 billion from 2011 to 2020. There are also some other things that have found in our paper. The type of IoT applications are changing depending on the environment. IoT is reorganizing all industry technologies. IoT makes it possible to bring all sensors and devices under one network system. Our paper shows the different sectors of IoT and the amount of investment in them. We also show a graph of the amount of IoT connected devices from the year 2011 to 2025. Here is the graph and data presentation. In the left side, we see the graph for the investment. There are various sectors for invest, discrete transformation, transportation, utilities, healthcare, and many other sectors. In the right side of the graph, we are seeing the number of connected devices, and the top of the each bar, we are seeing the increasing rate of the connected IoT devices. Then we will see the result of our paper. IoT has reached in current state through evolution. Along with the invention of advanced devices, strong networking systems are being developed. The economic situation is changing drastically as investment in the IoT sector increases. Avoiding the negative aspects will enable mankind to reach the pinnacle of progress by the advancement of IoT. There are also limitations in our paper. Although important information about IoT has been highlighted and analyzed to the best of our ability, not all issues related to IoT have been discussed in detail in our paper. For example, it was not possible to discuss in the paper the contribution of IoT to sophisticated military equipment and technology. Now I am going to conclude about my paper. IoT is not a completely new technology, but an enhanced version of the internet. IoT is constantly influencing our daily lives. Thanks to IoT, the modern world is moving fast. At the same time, with this progress, new challenges are coming and will come in the future. We have to move forward by successfully tackling this challenge. Everything has its good and bad effect, but if we use it positively, the world can be a better place to live in. Here are the future works. Based on our paper, the issues that can be worked on the future are, we have talked about smart space technology. Based on that, research on automated space management can be considered. We also talked about the mind reader working robot. Research can be done on this subject, whose success can be benefit those who are physically and mentally less people. Here are some key references. Finally, I end my speech by wishing everyone well and good health and praying for me to all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Faridul Islam Sani.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nice presentation and topic 2. Findings are measurable. In your future scope, it is generalized, so be focused, be specific. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I sincerely thank our researcher for their excellent presentation in this technical session. And thank you to all participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative and knowledgeable as well. All the presenter would be getting their digital certificate payment receipt thank you letter through mail within 1 working day. Further, all the papers have already forwarded to the Springer for publication process. The publication will be live within 4 to 5 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of ICTCS 2020. Now, I sincerely would like to give a warm regards to our session chair, Dr. Latika Desai, for chairing this session. Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable time and presence. Dear ma'am, would you like to address something?
Thank you, Richa, and thank you, ICTCS 2020, for giving me an opportunity as a session chair. Dear participant, you are presented your best, but always keep in mind there is a scope for improvement. So, always uh, go for enhancement. Okay, thank you all and take care.
And thank you, ma'am. And now I would like to invite our conference secretary, Mr. Aman Barot.
Thank you, Richa. Thank you, Latika ma'am, for your valuable time. All the
Thank you, sir.
We had already forwarded your papers for the publication process. So kindly cop up with the team of ICTCS in the middle of something. If you have any query, feel free to write an email to the conference ID. We can definitely assist you. Apart from that, it is a digital platform. So I request you for the glimpse of ICTCS of this session, you can just turn on your camera. So Richa will take a one short snap of the same and we'll upload in the conference website. So for next few 10 seconds, kindly just make a smile and open your camera, turn on. Thank you all the participants. Once again, thank you Latika ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Looking forward to closing the session. Thank you.